gear for portaging. So I'll go through everything so you know what it is, why we have it, and why we're willing to carry it.
I'm going to start in this area here.
I was going to start over here with the canoe stuff.
Canoe stuff.
2 vests. Yes, you need a vest.
Mine.
That's Matt's. This is mine. This is Matt's chair because
I'm sensitive.
he likes to be comfortable.
I'm sensitive.
Paddles, because you can't go anywhere without a paddle. This is the waterproofing spray, so you don't get water all in your tent. We still have to do that before we go, so we've got to set up our tent, spray it down, leave it for 24 hours, and then repack our tent.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Waterproofing spray. Fishing gear. So we've got our fishing gear down to this little bit right here.
And my rod.
And the rod there. Your bail bucket and your line.
What's in the bail bucket?
What's in the bail bucket? There's a reflector, a mirror, a flare, a whistle, and rope, and a flashlight.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but illegal to be out in any form of watercraft without one of these. We both have a pair of gloves that we use because on hot, sweaty days, the paddles can really eat at your hands. So you forage for your wood.
Yeah.
It's good to have some gloves. So this is our tent.
It's not packed right.
Not packed right because we still have to waterproof it. This is our air mattress. This is our one luxury item. We're willing to carry it because we've slept far too many nights on roots and stones. These are camping tarps, useful for numerous things, but especially to keep your living area dry and over your tent dry. What we do with these is we take the tent out of the bag, we wrap it really tightly with the tarp around it, and that also keeps it dry in the event of unfortunate spill in the lake.
So we don't bring the orange thing?
We don't bring the orange thing, we wrap this around. Sleeping bags, obviously, a must if you plan on staying warm at night, and in August it does get cold at night. These are our dry bags. The one at the bottom is our food bag. It's a 60 liter, holds as much as we need. That's the one that we hike up the tree to keep it away from the animals. And we have these 2 smaller ones. We put anything we don't want to get wet in there and tuck it in the bag. Rain gear.
Heavy, but necessary.
Heavy but necessary. Pants and jacket. Again, we've spent too many Algonquin days soaking wet, so we're willing to take those. Our cookware. So this is our cooking set. Lid and frying pan. 2 pots, 2 cups, and the handle that clips on. It weighs roughly 3 pounds, so it's pretty light, all things considered. This is our stove, our portable stove. It's essentially a glorified Bunsen burner. We need to get more fuel before we leave.
More fuel.
It's a little red thing, but this is what we use in the event of bad weather and we can't use a fire.
Or we're just lazy and we don't want to light.
Or we're just lazy.
Or don't want to light a fire.
This is our day pack. We'll wrap it up tightly and put it in the bag. But when we go out canoeing and need a snack or water or whatever, we prefer to take this than the 80 liter. Towels. So a couple years ago we got these on great sale. They don't look like much. They weigh next to nothing and they work really well. So we bring these because they take up almost no space at all.
And they dry fast.
And they dry super fast. Cards, because it's fun. These ones are waterproof and glow in the dark, so they only stay in our camping set. Brita water bottles to filter out all the crap.
We've had those for years.
We've had these for years. This is our water purifier.
We don't bring the box.
We don't bring the box.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. We can drink straight out of the lake with this.
What's it called?
It's called a Catadine, also not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
We love this one because you can literally be out in the boat and
Pump water.
fill your water bottle. It doesn't take very long at all, and it's very easy to use. So
And it's effective.
yes,
It's perfect water that comes out of it.
yeah. We have also boiled water and filtered it that way, but
It tastes like ash.
it tastes a bit like ash. So given the choice, we would go this way. a good pair of socks. Bring at least one good pair of socks. Our gear bag. So we're experimenting with this one this year. This is our 80 liter. I hope I can carry it when it's full. I just don't know yet. But we're taking just one bag for the two of us, so we will be able to get all the gear in.
We upgraded from 2 to 45 liters.
Yes, because we were finding we were having to do a lot of carrying. So, J-Claws. We bring a bunch of these because they're super light, and then I don't feel bad throwing them out at the end.
In the fire.
In the fire, because they are basically paper. And we use them for our face, for washing dishes.
And they're cheap.
And they're super cheap. You can get them at the dollar store.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. A little stacky thingy for spices and ghee and...
Wait, who's ghee?
Not the guy ghee. G-H-E-E. Ghee. It's vegan butter, but it stays shelf stable in the heat.
We're not vegans.
But it stays shelf stable even in the heat. So that's, we put some in there, and then spices or sauces or whatever. We use these stacker thingies. Sharp knife. Utensils, mess kits. So they've got little bowls and stuff inside. You could take a variety of liquids in this, just anything that's not going to go bad. It's got sand in it from our last trip, so we'll need to wash
that. What do we normally put in there?
It holds 2 bottles of wine.
2 bottles?
Because you cannot take bottles into the park, and our favorite wine does not come in a box, and I feel a little trashy buying boxed wine, but whatever. This is my multi-tool. Matt also has his own, and it's got everything you could need. It's got a mini saw, pliers, tweezers, screwdriver, the whole 9 yards. So we take that as well because it's very handy. Sunscreen for obvious reasons. All natural bug repellent because it's Algonquin and they thrive there. Chapstick because my lips hurt real bad.
But my lips hurt real bad.
We like polarized sunglasses because then you can see down through the water. And I'm at the front of the boat, so I like to be able to see when rocks are coming up. My gloves. These are luxury, we will admit it. We don't take chairs, we take hammocks. So they are great for relaxing at the end of the day when you don't want to sit on rocks anymore. We also discovered they're really awesome as a flag to summon help. We hung it up and we went out canoeing one day and the one end came off and so it turned into like a big flag. And then people were coming over to see if we were okay because it looked like we were trying to call for help. So should we ever need it, it's an option. Another sharp knife. And
a flute.
A flute. Because, you know, we're musical. I don't even know how to open this.
I know.
Am I going to break it?
No, you won't break it. Just watch it because it's sharp in the inside.
This is what happens to it. So this is a saw. In Algonquin, you're not allowed to bring in wood from elsewhere, so you are actually allowed to burn the local wood.
Well, deadfall.
Parts. Yes, you're not supposed to cut it down. Just anything that you find laying on the ground. But you still need to cut it up. We've got one blade for wet wood, one blade for dry wood.
There's the dry wood.
And it all folds up into that one little tube, and it's very, very light. Hats, a must. You must take hats.
Why? Why must you have a hat?
Oh, sweet goodness, because we've done it without hats, and the headaches you get are phenomenal because the water reflects the sun and you get pretty much double the sun exposure. A map carrier in a plastic case. We know how to get to the spot we're going, but if we want a day trip at all, we want to have an idea of how to get there. So
whose map is that?
This is Jeff's map, not a sponsor.
Wish we were a sponsor.
I wish we were a sponsor for Jeff's map. We love Jeff's map, and we will advertise for him even if he's not a sponsor, because he puts things on there that the provincial park map doesn't have, and it's actually super, super helpful. So Jeff's map all the way. Just make sure you get the right location because we bought the wrong one. There's not one map for Algonquin.
There's 3, isn't there?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
A pair of sandals. Rope. This is one of a couple things of rope we take. We need several. Monkey fist. After years and years of tying a rope to a rock, we discovered that this is the better option, and our son made this for us, so it's super handy. The pulley. So this is what we put in the tree so that we can get the bear bag out. Camp soap, biodegradable, fully safe to use, isn't going to disturb the ecosystem or the wildlife or any of that stuff. It is also fabulous for washing dishes and washing hair. It gives you luxurious locks. We also take some of these. These are just little soap flakes.
Dollar store.
Again, dollar store, but they're super, super helpful. We don't take matches. We take this.
Oh, she's going to show you how it works.
Show you how it works.
Woo!
Woo! So it doesn't matter if it gets wet, we can always light a fire. This is our special cookbook. Again, there's lots of them out there. This is the one that we picked, but it shows you how to dehydrate, gives you ideas of meals. There's lots of great ideas in here. So this is what we use beforehand to get everything all prepped and have it ready. Okay, so just to give you an idea, this is 1.5 kilos of ground beef that we dehydrated yesterday, and completely dehydrated, it was 300 grams. So the rest of it was fat and water. They call it gravel. It very much looks and feels like gravel.
It's hard.
It's hard, like. However, it tastes fine when you rehydrate it. So the only other things that we haven't talked about are our clothing
And food.
and our food. So
This is what we're going to be
that's our
carrying.
gear.
This is the vast majority of the weight of what we're carrying. Okay, plus clothing. We're going to bring very light clothing.
One warm pair of clothes because the nights are cold. A bathing suit, a sweater, and
Good socks.
good socks. Like we each have our hiking shoes and our sandals, so we rotate between the two.
Yep.
And you may notice there's no pillow. What we do is we take the bag off the sleeping bag and we stuff our warm clothes in there, and it makes a great pillow at night, and that way we don't have to carry an extra thing. So I think that's pretty well it for our
Pretty real it for our gear. Okay. Do you have anything else to say?
I'm going on an adventure!